In today's video, we are going to talk about the biggest Gigachad in history of humanity, Diogenes of Sinope. There are a lot of popular philosophers, like Plato, Socrates, Nietzsche, but no one is as cool as Diogenes of Sinope. He was born in the year 404 before Christ.
Congratulations, it's a future Gigachad aka mad philosopher. Have fun with these crazy lads.
And died 323 before Christ.
Ah, what a beautiful day. Oh, I'm feeling kinda woozy doozy.
So he became 90 years old, what is pretty insane for this era. He's a Greek philosopher and was a student of Diogenes. Well, I didn't research any further to this because it was boring as f***. Anyways, he was a badass motherfucker because he was like,
personal property? I don't need that shit.
His statement was more or less,
it is the privilege of gods to want nothing, and of godlike men to want little.
That means he owned nothing except this pot. Yes. That was his home. He lived with the dogs on the street, in a barrel, and wore only clothes, and ate with his hands. He used to have a bowl made of clay, but when he saw another person drinking water with his hands, he realized that he didn't need the bowl, so he threw it away. In any case, he lived in this pot with hay. In the picture, we even see 3 women trying to talk to this sexy guy, but this Chad doesn't care at all and ignores them. What a Sigma male. Also had a lot of stress with the residents because they didn't really want a naked homeless guy outside the door. A man once came up to him and insulted him as a dog because of his lifestyle.
Hey crazy old man, you are a dog, ha ha ha.
And guess what Diogenes' reaction was? That's right, he peed on him. What a Gigachad. The man went away in a huff and still insulted Diogenes, to which Diogenes said, I peed on a man who called me a dog. I don't understand why he is surprised. That was not all he did. He also did other unsightly things. For example, he masturbated in his pot in public. Imagine you are walking to the market with your child and suddenly you will pass the spot and hear this man masturbating in it.
Mama, there are weird sounds coming from the barrel.
Oh no, it's the crazy man. Let's get away from here.
I will kick him down the hill with the pot like Donkey Kong. He was shitting either in the streets or in the theater while a show was going on.
Ah, what a nice place to take a shit. Oh, wait. That theater looks way better. Ah, now it's perfect.
And he insulted pedestrians who walked by his pot.
Yo, you guys look like ass.
But nevertheless, he was a very respected philosopher, because, although he may not seem so, he was quite a clever man. Many people respected him and came to listen to his theories and ideas. And he even received a visit from Alexander the Great, that is the dude right here. And this dude was a very big fan of Diogenes. The meeting between the two went like this. Alexander went to him because he wanted to talk to him and listen to what Diogenes had to say. He also brought him presents and asked Diogenes, who was living on the street as a madman, if he had any wishes.
Say Diogenes, can I give you something? Gold, a house, or perhaps clothes?
I have nothing more to ask than that you go to the other side, lest by interrupting the sunshine you take from me what you cannot give me.
So basically he just told Alexander to get out of his light, but Alexander the Great didn't feel offended by that. He felt rather honored that the things they were saying about Diogenes were actually true, and Alexander the big boy said,
If I were not Alexander, I would wish that I too were Diogenes.
And to this Diogenes replies,
If I were not Diogenes, I too would wish to be Diogenes.
This man is an absolutely mad lad. Diogenes also had a dispute with Plato, another highly respected philosopher. The two often clash over different ideas. Plato said to Diogenes that he was a mad Socrates. Diogenes often made fun of Plato, so there was, for example, a very interesting debate between the two, where Plato answered an important philosophical question. He answered the question, how do you define a human being? Yes, finding the answer to that is quite difficult. Anyway, Plato's answer is as follows. A featherless biped. So to speak, a creature that walks on 2 legs and has no feathers? Good job, Plato. Oh well, don't be surprised, these are not humans you see on the pictures. You have to know that back then they didn't know kangaroos or gorillas. They only knew birds that walked on 2 legs. Thereupon, Diogenes wanted to show that Plato was wrong with his theory, which was very respected at the time. That is why he came into the hall where Plato was currently teaching. In other words, Plato was standing in front of his students and Diogenes had a very special gift with him.
Welcome to today's lecture, my honorable students. Our topic for today.
Oh, it's me, Diogenes. Look, I have a special gift for you all.
He came with a dead chicken, where he plucked out the feathers and told all the students that, according to Plato's explanation, he had a human being with him, and put the chicken on the floor and was like,
Look at this human.
You have to imagine that the people were sitting there listening to Plato, and all of a sudden a naked guy came in with just a cloth tied around him and a bloody plucked chicken in his hand. And he was like,
"Hey guys, look at this person, fuck you Plato."
And just leaves the teaching hall. Diogenes' death. There were many theories as to how he died. One theory was that he was bitten by a dog, another was that he had an internal infection, and another was food poisoning, because he only ate out of the rubbish. But there is another theory which I personally think is the best one, because there is the theory that Diogenes suddenly had no more desire to live and held his breath until he died. In his pot. Crazy, right?
Well, I lived long enough. It's time to stop.
After his death, his last wish was fulfilled, and that was that his body should just be thrown in front of the city walls, so that animals could eat him up.
Sir, what should we do with the dead body over there?
Words forgot about him, just throw him out.
Because he wanted to give back to the world what he had taken from the world, so not very much besides his pot, barrel, whatever, I don't know. Well, the conclusion of the video is, Diogenes is badass and there is no other opinion.